Hey, how we doing, guys?
Welcome back, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin.
So we're starting a new show, The Americans.
Absolutely.
I know very little about the show.
Yeah, I didn't watch it when it was on. I had it
Yeah.
recommended highly. All I know is that it is a spy show of some kind and that it's a period piece, and I don't know what the period is.
From my understanding, I think it's the 80s, I think.
Okay.
Uh, it's about sleeper agents, I think.
Is it? I don't know.
We've had it highly recommended. I recognize the lead actress. I think her name is Carrie Condon.
No, it's Kerry Russell.
Carrie Russell. That's who it is. Yeah,
Kerry Russell and Matthew Rhys. That's
Okay.
And I don't know anyone else in the cast.
Yeah.
I just remember from seeing because the last season was a couple years ago and it's being advertised a lot, and that's the only way I know what I know about the show is because of those two.
That's kind of why we wanted to do it with the advertisement.
Right.
I've seen it all the time on Hulu, so we thought, hey, let's give it a shot. Yeah, sounds like a fun show.
Sure, we'll take a look-see.
I like spy stuff.
Yeah, if you're joining us for the first time, which is quite possible because it's a new show, welcome, guys. We appreciate being here. We do want to welcome a couple new Patreon subscribers since Monday. So Holly and Kat Duchars, thanks, guys, and welcome. We appreciate you being here with us.
We sure do. And if you guys are watching on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you don't mind hitting the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the new content we have coming your way. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. If you'd like to see a full reaction to this and everything else we've watched or are watching, and if you take a look at our YouTube channel, you'll see there's a ton of it. Please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. There's full-length reactions to everything. You will need to, obviously, because of copyright rules, sync up and watch along on your own device. We are watching The Americans here on Hulu, so that is a good way to go.
This is exciting because this might be the show that we know the least about.
I'm definitely going in very blind on this one.
81. There we go.
There we go. Early 80s.
This might be like a Cold War kind of situation.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
The things I'm telling
Briefly.
you don't joke around about.
And Cocaine Bear.
Could be dangerous.
Yeah, she was a Cocaine Bear.
So I take it she's one of the spies that's digging for information from one of these guys?
Yeah, I don't think she's a blonde.
Because
Okay.
There we go.
So she might be some. Yeah, she's a spy.
For sure.
Think about something else.
Matthew Rhys.
Take deep breaths.
He was in the Mr. Rogers movie, right?
Yeah, he was the star of it.
Yeah.
He's in the corner.
I know something's up.
Is this the guy they were talking about? The guy that took out the judo team
I
and
think
everything?
so. This guy's booking it.
Yeah, he is. Definitely a seasoned agent who knew they were waiting.
Yeah.
You can just tell.
Freaking Jason Bourne over here.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
A lot of blood.
You go in a John Doe. You do not go back to Boston. Soon they're on. All right.
This is a very exciting way to start a television
It really
show.
is.
Yeah.
Well, not a car chase, but you know.
Why is everyone so punctual in this business?
Who's Timoshev?
He's this ex-KGB colonel. Blew the whistle on these Directorate S undercover agents supposedly hiding all over the U.S. You get these guys like Timoshev, right? They come over, they get these huge resettlement packages. We're talking millions of dollars. So they say things to us to justify it. They make up stories. Super secret spies living next door. They look like us. They speak better English than we do. According to Timoshev, they're not allowed to say a single word in Russian once they get here.
FBI paid me $3 million when I came off. And more since as a consultant, you can get twice that.
You know how much they paid that asshole? $3 million.
Henry was looking for a skateboard. It's not in the garage, is it? We have to get rid of him tonight.
I just coded the message. I'll drop it on the way to work. You don't have to stay here. He's secure in there.
There were witnesses.
I like that. You had like the police right there. He did an espionage drop with the police right there.
Yeah.
Just as cool as can be.
Yeah.
Leave us, I will teach her how we do it in the field.
Looks like Matthew Rhys a little bit. Oh, this is happening? Oh my god.
Okay, so she hates the guy.
Yep.
Hey, what are you working on?
Social studies, paper on how the Russians cheat on arms control.
I made the drop in the park. No response.
Maybe he can move in with us permanently. I can fix up a spare bedroom for him.
We're referencing our meeting this evening. Obviously, you understand it's been classified top secret by the Internal Affairs Division of the Committee to Oversee United States Counterintelligence. We know most of it, but I just want to hear the details from you because a crisis can provide an opportunity to uncover the leaks that we have been looking for in your office. There appear to be a centralized response to the kidnapping.
They were in the secure vault all day.
Did you get a look inside this time?
And they have a vehicle description. 77 Oldsmobile, gold with DC plates and bumper stickers. Extra agents were sent to surveil the Soviet embassy. Agents went out to all the ports and train stations.
How do you do this with kids in the house, man? Like, that's stressing me out.
Double life, yeah. I feel like he takes their cover relationship a lot more seriously than she does. Like, I think he takes the kids more seriously than she does. So far.
I get why she's not.
Right.
Because of the history with the guy they
Right, right.
I am giving $100,000 cash to a KGB defector.
So I think we have to assume with the feds all over them like that, they're on full operational stand-down.
We should just take care of him ourselves.
Why do you want to kill him so badly?
I want him out of my house.
Russia,
He's putting us all in
1960.
danger, and they're just gonna kill him back in Moscow anyway.
Gotcha.
Let's see what we hear tomorrow.
You look nice, darling.
Somebody
You wanna
break
come
this
with me
guy's
and do the
jaw.
shop for makeup after you pay for those?
No thanks, skinhead.
His name.
Errol, she's 13.
13? I don't know, Daddy. She sure looks ready to me.
Okay. So I'm about to be cheering for a Russian spy at this point.
Yeah.
Sorry, Soviet.
So long, honey.
Stop. Stop.
You're my wife.
Is that right?
Visitors already?
Yeah, this
Oh.
is Stan.
Hey.
Phil Jennings.
The guy in the FBI counterterrorism task force. Isn't
What
it?
do you do, Stan?
I'm an FBI agent.
FBI? Wow.
I work in counterintelligence now.
Counterintelligence? That's against spies, right?
Exactly.
That's funny.
It's probably a coincidence. FBI agents have to live somewhere.
Or they're onto us. Maybe this is the perfect time for us just to think about living the life we've been living, but just really living it. If they are watching us, we can't kill Timoshev. I'm also saying we are Philip and Elizabeth Jennings. We have been for a very long time.
Yeah.
Just get relocated, take the good life, and be happy.
I don't think she wants that, though.
That's not her. She's in on the cause.
You want to betray our country?
Well, after everything we've done, I don't think it's such a betrayal.
Defecting to America?
America's not so bad.
I swore we would never tell them. That to let them grow up and live their own lives. They're not to be a part of this.
They're not to be a part of this.
To know that it was all a lie, they would never speak to us again, Philip. And what are we even talking about? There would be no future for any of us. They would kill us all.
I wonder if this is going to be a long-running battle between these two.
I think so. That's good drama.
For sure.
This is cool. This is really cool. This is a really cool premise. This
is great.
We're getting all this in the pilot.
Yeah. They're really setting up a compelling show here.
They are. I wonder if there's a point in the series where they start to turn on each other.
I would bet money,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay, we're in his flashback now. Cool.
There we go.
Elizabeth, this is Philip.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise.
It would be easy to believe in the Elizabeth who grew up in Chicago, Illinois, Philip, if you don't know any other story.
It's like an arranged marriage.
Yeah, it really is.
Do you
Western
think
Front.
there's any chance that Timoshev is still alive?
He's been here about 10 minutes.
And he was the star
What's
of
my
It, the
understanding? He has
miniseries.
some special insight.
I bet the Russians would go to considerable lengths to get him back there so they can look him in the eye before they blow his brains out. Well, I wouldn't take him to the embassy. I wouldn't want to get near any Russians where we might be looking. I would probably make a beeline to my house, tell you the truth. Probably the safest place
He's
you can
gonna-
be.
he's gonna figure it out.
Sound. And I would just follow my regular routine.
I would think as a sleeper agent, this would be really hard not to like start buying into where you live the life that the fake life, you know?
That's why this scene is so powerful.
Right.
He's there with his son,
Yeah.
doing the national anthem. He wants to be there.
Ah. It's
He's like,
so,
big whoop, we sent Doug to space.
it's just so weird to like try to be a good parent to your kids who are clearly all American kids while fighting against that. You know what I mean? Right. It's such a weird dichotomy.
This might be the most American time in U.S. history. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is
Yeah, for
Reagan
sure.
era, man.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna get ugly.
After all these years, I
Yeah.
would go to jail. I would die. I would lose everything before I would betray my country.
Sorry, I never meant to hurt you.
Yeah. See, he takes their marriage like seriously as a marriage.
Yeah.
The aciding him. Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Their relationship is so complicated with so many levels going on.
I like that guy, Philip.
Really, you do?
I mean, there's something a little bit off about him, maybe, but I think he's a good guy.
Oh, that was dope. Oh.
Guy's working some stuff out here, isn't he?
Yeah.
No more little girls. I'll be back. I'll stick that in your heart.
Where is the traitor?
He tried to escape. We killed him.
You missed the handoff. Our war is not so cold anymore, Elizabeth. What happens behind enemy lines will determine the outcome of this struggle. I'm fighting now against comrades in our own organization who are starting to act like they did in our darkest days.
The President has signed Top Secret Executive Order 2579, authorizing the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Counterintelligence Office to neutralize Soviet Directorate S sleeper cell agents in the continental United States.
This is cool.
This is cool.
Things are about to change, Philip. It's gonna get uglier. More dangerous. My name was Nadezhda.
Well, that's pretty.
It's my legal name, actually.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's onto them, man.
I think you're right. I think I was wrong. I expected this to be like a thing that goes on for season after season after season where he's not. But I maybe he cat and mouses it, or maybe he sees their car, sees the guy's not there, and then backs off.
I thought it was going to be a Hank and Walt kind of situation.
Right. I did too. I thought it was going to go on forever. Yeah, it was. See, I think now he lets him off. Now he lets him off the hook.
Does he see the drywall?
Oh my God!
Awesome.
That is so cool.
All right,
Yeah, we had some false endings there, didn't we?
We did a couple different things. I mean, it's the pilot. You got to set up
Of
a lot of
course.
stuff there. And like we said, I think going forward, I took a peek. I think the next episode's like 47 minutes long. So.
Okay, yeah. It said that I looked and said after the first one they get shorter.
Gotcha. You know what's interesting about the show too is like the commitment to the American accent, and like they're not speaking Russian behind closed doors. You know, like they have to completely buy into this. Like, no, you are Americans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even when they're arguing in perfect English. Like, forget that whole part of your lives.
Yeah. At the beginning, the only thing I would say in the beginning, it's kind of murky, it's kind of confusing. You're like, wait, are they American spies? And then, like, you find out she's from Russia, and it's like, okay, they're trying to get the defector back to Russia. That makes sense. I kind of know what kind of espionage they're running there for a second.
Well, I assumed that they were Russian spies because they were in America, and that was it, right? It's like, okay, it's 1981, and there are spies in America. They're going to be Russians.
Yeah, it was the first 20 minutes we caught on. But in the beginning there, I think I asked, does he know she's Russian? Obviously, he's Russian too. So like, we got that cleared up there.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the vibe of the show.
I do too.
The 80s aesthetic is cool. Obviously, it's compared to Mad Men. I think Mad Men's much richer, but also that's the 60s, so you can really have fun with the set designs. 80s, it's not so different from now.
Right.
Needle drops are great. Obviously, the Miami Vice shout-outs, they were cool.
Really good tension building in the episodes too. Like they really knew how to build up the moments they needed to build up really well, really deliberately.
And it said Gavin O'Connor directed this episode, which he's normally a sports movie guy.
Oh yeah.
Like we shouted out Warrior. This is Toby Emmerich, right? Noah Emmerich.
This is Noah Emmerich.
Noah Emmerich, he was also in Warrior with the other agent there that was asking about his oh my gosh, when he was undercover. The little short bald guy.
Oh yeah.
He was also Warrior, so obviously, director pulls him over and works with him and that stuff.
Underrated movie. I don't know many people who've seen Warrior, but it is really good.
It's a travesty. That movie's not like one of the biggest movies ever.
Yeah, it's one of the best sports movies I've seen,
I think it's
for
my
sure.
favorite sports movie. Anyways, no, the production behind the series is fantastic. I really enjoyed that. I love spy stuff.
I do
spy
too.
movies, spy shows. I love like the novels of John le Carre.
Yeah.
Not so much Ian Fleming's novels, but James Bond. I'm a big James Bond guy.
Well, and I really feel like that this was almost like a procedural.
Yeah,
a spy procedural, which you don't get much, and it was so interesting to watch. I don't know or care how realistic it is. It makes for really good television, and it was very interesting as a procedural.
Well, it's like you have two ways to go about spy stuff, right? You can do James Bond over the top,
Right.
Kingsman stuff, or you could do Jason Bourne. Which, if you think Jason Bourne's realistic, it is more realistic than James Bond, but it's not realistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not realistic.
You know, so if realistically, if it was realistic, it would be kind of boring.
Right.
You know, where this is not boring at all.
Yeah, I think
there's
there's
the fun action, but also it's you have the day-to-day procedural stuff. You know?
Right. Like I feel like, and I could be wrong, of course, because I have no idea, but I feel like real espionage stuff requires a lot of patience and a lot of sitting around, and those two things don't make for good storytelling.
Which we're hinting at.
Right.
I'm sure we'll have a few episodes where there's no action.
Right.
Which I'm fully fine with because
Oh,
you're
sure.
building out characters and you're setting up stuff because I don't know how these missions work. Obviously, they have the objective in this episode to get the guy, send him back to Russia.
And obviously, you don't need action for there to be tension. You know, so I think there will be tension in every single episode, but a lot of it's going to be through deceit and not through conflict. But
well, deceit and conflict in the marriage, deceit and conflict.
I just mean like in their job as spies.
No, sure.
There's gonna be a lot of lying, a lot of deception to accomplish tasks, goals, small ones, big ones, that don't necessarily have the risk of immediate violence, but it still has a risk to everyone involved.
I'm sure we'll get that within the relationship.
Of course,
though, yeah.
absolutely.
There's already some contention, obviously. I mean, like she's complained about him in the past before, not being fully committed to the cause.
Right.
I think this episode it really shows that he's got her back, and she knows that.
Yeah, for sure. I do feel like they're on different pages, though.
Oh yeah,
but this really sets up the world of the show very well, right? You've got a ratcheting up of tensions from the Soviet side, and then a ratcheting up of tensions from the American side with the executive order that Reagan signs, to where it's like, hey, everything's going to come to a head right now, and it did. You know, after Reagan was elected, this is that happened, right? That's when we were all like, oh wait, we're all going to die in a nuclear attack, aren't we?
Quickly, we should address the fact that there's a juxtaposition of like the flashbacks to the 60s and it's set in the 80s.
Right.
The two decades really where that was probably where it was the most heightened.
Yeah,
I would say. I wasn't alive during that point.
With the Cuban Missile Crisis and everything.
And then in the 80s, I mean, probably not as overt as the 60s tensions with Russia, but I mean, it was. When did the wall go down?
89, I think.
89. So I wouldn't be surprised if the show spans the whole decade of the 80s.
Around there, around 89, 90, I think. Sorry if I'm wrong on that, guys. It was very end of the 80s or very early 90s.
I think 89 sounds right because I watched a documentary on the Tim Burton Batman actually, and they were talking about how big of a phenomenon that was,
right?
And how in Russia there was kids wearing Batman shirts,
right,
right. And so I think that's right.
All right. Let me know if I'm wrong, but it's right around there in that little 2-year window.
Yeah, this is the fun part of the channel is that you guys get to inform us on what we've missed, what we're missing,
right?
And
because we definitely go in blind, so there was no like pre-research on any of this because we didn't even know I didn't even know when it was set.
I just want to cover about the show because I feel like they threw a lot our way.
There's a lot. Like I said, this was a lot of establishing relationships and the tension of the show.
Yeah.
Right. We've established the tension with the neighbor, the FBI neighbor.
He doesn't like sharing his wife.
Yeah, he doesn't like sharing his life. Like, yeah, we've established where they're each coming from as a participant in this in their quote unquote marriage.
Yeah.
And it's a different place they're coming from. She's all about the job and being as professional and direct and my loyalty to my country comes first. And he's more like my family's first, which is a totally different perspective.
It speaks a lot to their backgrounds
for sure.
Which so we're big fans of showing not telling on this channel. I feel like they are going to show us a lot.
I think,
but I don't think you have to because of this episode.
Right.
If they want to do the flashbacks, great. But at the same time, I don't think.
I think it's fun not knowing where a lot of it's just kind of getting dumped into the middle of it, and just kind of running and like catch up.
I feel like we know who they are.
Right. All right, guys. Really good episode. We're definitely going to do the second one, and we'll catch you then.
See ya.